Okay, so this one is for you empaths, you givers, you nurturers, you sharers, you carers, and you mergers out there. I know who you are. If you haven't heard this phrase in the last 5 minutes, these are uncertain times. And often what we do in uncertain times is our automatic defense systems come rushing to the fore. Like, I know exactly what to do in that time. Some of us out there have an innate tendency to sacrifice ourselves on the altar of the social good. And that's our coping mechanism. That's what we do. It's like, times of crisis. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to slit open my wrist and bleed all over everyone, and that way I'll save the day. And this is a wonderful, highly practiced coping mechanism, and it was definitely built for survival of the community, even at expense of the individual. However, it is not actually the most effective way to be of any use to anybody right now, or ever. The Dalai Lama says, yes, be selfish, but be wise selfish, not foolish selfish. And what that means to us right now is that how we can truly be of best service to the world around us right now is not by immolating ourselves on the altar of community sacrifice, but by finding what's inspiring us right now, what lights us up, what is tickling a great big yes inside ourselves. What do we want to do? How do we want to handle these uncertain times? What makes our heart feel light and inspired, hopeful, helpful? What brings joy to us? How can we include ourselves in the conversation? This is now more important than ever, because when we try to give and share and nurture and empath and merge all over the place and only think of others. This is the thing, the imbalance. When we only think of others, what we're sharing with the world is a sense of collapse, a sense of inequality, a sense of imbalance, a sense of prioritizing one part of this huge single organism that is the world, prioritizing one part at the expense of the other part. And really the only way we can healthily and productively and prosperously be part of the universe and be of service to anybody is to engage in a mutual collaboration with everybody. So for all of us, that's going to look different. But you have to ask yourself, not only how can I be of service to everybody? Like, that's great. But how can I be of service to everybody in a way that includes me as an equal in this conversation, in a way that brings me joy, in a way that lights me up? Especially right now, I know a lot of us are doing a lot of free stuff, and that is fantastic and beautiful and wonderful and right, and we should keep doing it. Yay, more free stuff. But at the same time, we really have to go into our free offerings with an eye open, looking very carefully and actively at, okay, where is the boundary between me doing free stuff that lights me up and gives me joy and helps me be of equal mutual service to the world, and where does that free stuff start to cost me, start to turn me into an Indian widow sacrificing herself on her husband's pyre? Like, the minute you feel that bountiful generosity and sharing and love, and like the minute that spirit of free offering starts to slide into that heavy should, everybody else gets to benefit and I have to suffer, like the minute you feel that little tweak, like stop, pause, be like, ooh, not that, step back. how can I regain consciousness of how I can include me in this equation for the good of everybody else, so that you've got two equal partners meeting each other, you and the world meeting each other, and not you collapsing like this. So one quick way that you can keep being in touch with yourself and paying attention, like keeping an ear out, keeping an eye open. I just washed my hands, it's okay, and I'm gonna wash them again, is really like find that spot in your body. For me, it's here. Find that spot in your body that feels wonderful when you are doing something that you know is definitely right for you. And just take a mental note of like, well, what does that wonderful feeling feel like? And then also pay attention to how that part of your body, for me it's here, pay attention to how that part of your body feels when you're doing something that's full of should. Like when you're shoulding all over yourself, like, oh, I should do this. Oh, if I were a nice person, I would do this. Like that tiny, dark little voice in the back of your head that's like, oh, I have to go and be helpful now. The minute you feel that should energy, pay attention to where you feel in your body that heaviness, that burden, that overwhelm, that irritation, that little closing or tightness, or that moment of, like the minute you hear that, take that as your signal, like, from here on, anything that I might do would not be of service to the community. Remember, as long as this is like, as long as I am included in the conversation, as long as I am being wise, selfish, that is how I can really best serve the world. Remember that, go do that, may the force be with you, and be well.